Hey guys, I am just making sure I'm streaming into the group, and this way as people hop on live and they're commenting, I could hopefully see their comments. Okay. I'll give it a minute for some people to join live. Okay. I'm not seeing me in the group on my phone. Let me make sure I'm streaming here. Interesting. Oh, we've got someone on. Hello. So I am just trying to see on my phone if I can get into the group and see everyone's comments. So I see we have some more people coming in. Oh, I was on the Dietitian Side Hustle Facebook page, not group. So I was so confused. I'm like, why am I not streaming? So welcome to day 2, guys. So if you are on live, go ahead and comment below. Let me know where you are coming from. Let's see. Okay, perfect. See, more people are coming in. So, and if you're watching this on the replay, comment replay below so that way I know that you were able to join us. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get my little presentation pulled up. Okay. So, welcome to, let me actually make sure I'm sharing the right screen. There's a delay. Okay, looks like I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, so welcome to day 2, guys. Today is all about all of the different side hustle possibilities. So yesterday in day 1 of the challenge, we talked all about the mindset to start and how important it is to have the right mindset as you go into starting the side hustle, because your mindset is going to be the base of everything you do. And if we don't start out addressing that, making sure your mindset is in the right place, it's going to be hard to see success with your side hustle. So if you have not watched day 1, don't worry. After this video, you can go back, watch that. To stay active in the challenge, all you have to do is watch each of the 3 daily videos, comment and answer the question at the very end of the video. I ask you a question. So just put that in the comments, and that is how you stay entered. If you complete all 3 days by this Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time, then you will be entered into a drawing to win my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. So if you are just now catching me because you saw a little pop-up that said I was live, just know that you can go back and watch the day 1 later on. But we are now at all the possibilities. And I'm so excited about today because I'm going to talk to you guys about all of the different side hustle ideas that you could possibly do. And then I'm going to share with you guys an example of how you could use multiple streams of income. So having multiple side hustles, and show you very specifically how I am able to make money through my side hustle with the geriatric dietitian and really my brand. Because what I found over time is I just feel like it's so helpful to see a real example of, okay, how long does this take? How much money do you make? Like seeing those real pictures. So I'm going to share an example of how I make money through my side hustle and how I have multiple streams of income. And then we'll wrap up and we'll talk about what's the side hustle you're going to start. So you guys, the dietitian side hustle, you guys, there are so many different things that we can do on the side to make money and make impact. We know that dietitians are uniquely qualified to provide exceptional services in so many different areas. And I really believe that dietitians are an under-tapped resource, and there are so many opportunities for dietitians to have side hustles. So know that the ideas I'm going to talk about on the screen, they are just ideas. The sky is the limit. You truly can do anything that you want. So one of the most popular side hustles that you could do that this group seems to be most interested in is freelance writing. I recently polled the Dietitian Side Hustle Facebook group and asked, hey, what side hustle do you want to learn more about? And a majority of people said freelance writing. And freelance writing is so fun because it's something you could do on your own time, and you can get money to write something. So there's a lot of different freelance writing opportunities. You could write for blogs, other people's blogs. You can write for magazines. You could write for pretty much anywhere you see words. odds are someone was paid to write that, right? And if it's related to nutrition and dietetics, then that's an opportunity for a dietitian to write it. So lots and lots of opportunities for dietitians out there to write. Next, we have webinars, and webinars are becoming more and more popular with the pandemic because we're not able to do face-to-face, but this is where you kind of do like what I'm doing now. You share a presentation or you just talk on a screen and you teach. Now, this kind of ties in a little bit with live speaking engagements, but again, we know most live speaking engagements have not returned yet, but when they do, I want to give you guys an idea of where you could possibly speak. So I think some obvious places to speak are within our field of nutrition and dietetics. So you could speak at the national FNCE, the National Nutrition Conference. You could speak at a state level conference or a local conference, but think beyond dietetics. What about other healthcare fields? Doctors, physical therapists, nurses, dental, like all these different fields, they need to know about nutrition too. And they all have a bunch of conferences as well. So maybe there's opportunities for you to speak to those groups. And even outside of that, there are so many groups and organizations that are interested in learning more about nutrition and all the topics that we have to offer. It could be for corporate wellness, giving presentations to brands, to companies, like it's really the sky is the limit because people are out there looking for dietitians to speak, whether it is online through a webinar or in person when that starts happening again. And I think we're starting to see more and more of in person. So it's coming back. So next we have one-on-one patient care. And I will tell you, when I thought of being an entrepreneur, I always thought that if I wanted to do something outside of my job, I had to see patients. I didn't realize there were all these cool opportunities for dietitians. And when I fell into this world, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing because, I see patients in my full-time job. I didn't want to do that outside of my job. So, but many of you do. You want to work with patients one-on-one, and that is absolutely an amazing side hustle opportunity. Next, we have blogging. I'm not going to talk too much about blogging because when I share the example of my side hustle, that is my side hustle. It's blogging, and it incorporates lots of different side hustles. So I'll paint that picture next. You can also do teaching. Now, this could be at a local community college, maybe an online program, even a university. Lots of teaching opportunities available for dietitians teaching nutrition classes, and also cooking classes. Many dietitians like to cook, and you could be teaching cooking classes. Think, for example, at a local library. Oftentimes libraries have a budget to pay people to come in and teach classes. Maybe with your local parks and recreation, you often get paid to teach a class. It could be with a grocery store with part of a corporate wellness program. Even online, you could do your own cooking class. Honestly, with online, sky is the limit. You could also do podcasting. So if you're wondering how people make money through podcasting, there's a couple of ways. It could be where you have sponsors on your podcast. So if you've ever listened to a podcast, maybe at the beginning, middle, or end, you hear like, this podcast was brought to you by, or they're like, have a little ad, a little promo in there. That's how they're making money. But also podcasting is a great way to build an audience, someone who gets to know, like, and trust you. And then you can use it as a lead magnet to lead people to either work with you, to buy your products, to buy your services. You can also work with brands. Lots of opportunities working with brands, whether or not it is doing sponsored content. If you have a large audience online, it could be doing different projects for them. Again, lots of area within working with brands. You could also be an influencer. And I know this isn't for anyone, but I like putting it on this list and talking about it because we know that there's a lot of influencers out there. And an influencer is someone online who has a big following, and they typically make money working through brands. But we know there's a lot of influencers out there, and people get their nutrition information from these influencers. And most of the time it's totally bogus. But in my opinion, if there's a dietitian who wants to build a following on social, they share nutrition and personal stuff, and they become an influencer, I would much rather see a dietitian influencer. Now, this side hustle isn't for everyone, but if it's something you're interested in, I would say go for it. So next we have coaching. So this can be coaching in terms of maybe business coaching. It could be maybe coaching students. Maybe it could be actual nutrition coaching. So not formal medical nutrition therapy, but you're doing a nutrition coaching model or even health coaching. You can do grocery store tours. We're pretty good at that, right? Teaching people how to shop, stuff that sometimes seems basic to us, that really provides value to other people. And again, that could be something you do on your own in conjunction with a corporate wellness program, or so many opportunities. You could do culinary work, and this would include maybe making recipes, doing nutrition analysis, taking pictures of food, or all of the above, where you make a recipe, take the picture, and have, do the nutrient analysis. And there are lots of people that are hiring dietitians or people to do this type of work. You could also sell physical goods. You may have seen dietitians who sell fun swag, maybe t-shirts, maybe mugs, all kinds of fun stuff. You could also sell digital goods. So I'm talking about handouts, ebooks, different products that you could sell online. I'm a big fan of RD to RD Marketplace. That is a place where you could start selling your, those handouts that we're, we have sitting in a folder somewhere collecting digital dust. We made these great handouts and we're not using them. You can always put them on RD to RD. It's going to help another dietitian and it's going to help you because you'll make a little extra cash off it. We also have direct sales. So oftentimes dietitians work with maybe different companies. Maybe they're selling skincare products or even supplements they believe in or different things like that. You could also do affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is where you are selling someone else's product or service and you are making a commission off of it. And then finally, I know this is a lot of me talking, guys, but the sky is truly the limit. You can do anything with your side hustle. If you could dream it up, if you can believe it, you could absolutely do it. I've heard of dietitians doing birthday classes for kids. They're like doing cooking, but like, how cool is that? Like, hey kids, let's get the dietitian for your birthday party. Another dietitian I heard of doing mermaid swimming classes, teaching like how to swim like a mermaid. I think that's so cool. But I just wanted to throw that out there to know that like, if you have this dream in your heart and you're like, oh man, I've always wanted to do this, but I feel like, does it really fit in line with being a dietitian? Like, that's okay. If it's your passion, totally go for it. So I also wanted to share with you guys a new section on my website that I built. I built this very recently. And this is, if you go to www.dietitiansidehustle.com, up on the top menu, there's a little section that says side hustle ideas. And if you click on that, you'll see there are 8 big buttons at the top. And this is where I pulled in some of the most popular side hustle topics that you are all interested in. And if you click on a button, it'll just like bring you down lower on the page and you can learn more about, what is this? How do I do this? Where can I get more resources to get started? So just know that at any time you can go to the website and learn more about these side hustles. So now I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay. Oop, I just saw some comments. So Sarah is coming from, are you coming from Oregon, Sarah? You're a couple hours north of you in Oregon. Oh yes, you're in Oregon. Awesome. I live in Southern Oregon. Welcome. So glad you're here. So multiple income streams. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I remember I was at a nutrition conference a couple years ago and a dietitian was talking about the people with the most amount of money, they have the most income streams. And there was like a certain number. I don't remember if it was like 6, 7, or 9, but having multiple income streams is really wonderful because if one of those income streams dries up, you're still making money. So an example of that would be like, maybe you're making money through doing freelance work. You're selling ebooks, you're selling maybe t-shirts or whatever you're doing. And say maybe the freelance gigs you've been doing, all of a sudden they don't have money to pay you and that contract's just over. And if that was your only side hustle, that, you'd have to start finding something else to do. Where if you have multiple streams of income, it's not as big of a deal if one of those income streams dries up. So I want to talk to you guys about a couple ways to make money. Now, there are things we're not going to talk about. There's other strategies for making money and building wealth, including investments, real estate, all of that. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about how we can make money through the work that we do. And I'm going to talk about a traditional job versus a side hustle. And a traditional job, you're typically making money through active income. A side hustle is a combination of active income and passive income. And let me explain what those mean. So I got these little bubbles here, right? So active income is what we're traditionally taught in school. It's where we trade time for money. We work 40 hours and we get paid for 40 hours, right? It's hourly pay, or maybe your salary. Or if you're a freelancer or a side hustler, maybe you have contract work where you are getting, paid to write a gig. You write the gig, you get paid, one and done. It's essentially where you are just exclusively trading time for money. You're doing work to get paid. Where on the flip side, passive income is where you create something once, and then you do have to create systems for marketing it, but then you're able to sell it on autopilot. And the cool thing about passive income is that it just continues to build over time. So when it comes to multiple streams of income, you guys probably saw when it came to those side hustle ideas, you're thinking like, oh man, I would love to do this and this and this. And there really is a logical way that you can combine side hustles. And that's why I want to talk to you guys about blogging, because this is my primary side hustle, because through blogging, we use a technique called SEO, search engine optimization, and it's how people find you on the internet. It also improves your authority because people see you online like, oh man, they must be the expert, which we are, but it just, there's a little bit different level of authority when you have your website. It's also opportunities for sales, and you can incorporate both passive and active forms of income. And again, I'm going to show you an example of how I do this, but potential opportunities within blogging include, you could do writing, speaking, webinars, selling digital goods, have ads, courses, work with brands, companies, affiliate sales, freelance work, etc. So before I show you my example, I wanted to just really introduce this basic concept to you. And it's very basic. There's much more to this, but I find that this makes it easy to understand how we make money. So to make money, we need two things. We need something to sell and something to sell. No, something to sell and someone to sell it to. So dietitians, we're so good at the something to sell, right? We could bust out handouts. We can create some programs. We could, medical nutrition therapy, the heck out of stuff. Like we are so good at making the thing, but the more challenging piece is actually having someone to sell it to. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about the geriatric dietitian, including my timeline and how I've created things to sell as I've built up the someone to sell it to. So if you've seen the challenge before, because I've done this challenge several times in the group, I'm going to be sharing some new concepts here and some new information. So I hope that it's helpful for you guys. So with the geriatric dietitian, this is my main blog, and it's been around for 2 years. So I started my blog on June 29th, 2019. So before I started the blog, I did have a side hustle, and I was making money, primarily active income. I was doing freelance writing for other blogs, for other companies. I was also doing webinars through a company called Dietitian Central. And through that same company, whenever I did a live webinar, I would continue to make I think of them as like royalties, but I continue to make money if people bought those on demand, meaning I record the webinar once, and then as people come and purchase it later, I continued to make a small percentage of money off of that. So that was actually my first passive income stream. So before I started blogging, that's what I had going on. When I started my blog, I actually started selling digital goods on RD to RD. So I would like direct people to RD to RD to buy those. About 6 months into my blogging game, because my brand was the geriatric dietitian, I got my first really big contract with a brand, a company, to do some work, and that was super fun. And a lot of that came from the fact that I was the geriatric dietitian. So then coming into 2020, around, I think it was in March. It was March. I remember it was on National Nutrition Month. I launched my first ebook. Now, this was an e-cookbook that my audience was asking me for. They wanted me to create this, so I made it for them. And then in summer, I made an ebook. In fall, I made another e-cookbook. Around summertime, a lot of people were starting to find me through Google. So different marketing companies are often looking to interview experts as they are doing some market research. So I actually had 3 interviews with marketing companies just because people searched like geriatric nutrition or dietitian and found me online. And then last fall, I started making money through ad income. And then at the very beginning of the year, I started making money through affiliate sales, and that's Amazon affiliates. And then I also launched a course. So I wanted to show you guys this timeline because I want to show you guys the picture of what you see now wasn't what it always was. I was able to build these things slowly over time. And honestly, 2 years isn't that long. So I'm going to show you guys this information a little bit differently. And this is looking at my multiple streams of income and how I make money through the geriatric dietitian. And I've broken it down between active income and passive income. So again, when I started, I was making money through freelance writing, webinars, and also I had some work with brand. No, I had 2 brands. I work with 2 brands. And then with passive income, I was making money through digital goods and then those on-demand webinars. So those were my income streams the first 6 months of my blog. The next following year in 2020, I added 2 income streams. One was interviews. I say active income, but it was like 3 hours of time. It wasn't that much time. But then I also added my ebooks, which was a passive source of income. And then moving into 2021, I've actually stopped doing any freelance writing and webinars because when I do work for other people, I get paid one and done. Or if I spend the same amount of time creating for my own brand at this point, I make much more money and I make money month after month. So I've stopped doing freelance work for other people, but I have added ad revenue, affiliate sales, and courses to to where I make money. So let me show you guys more in terms of what that looks like for money. So in 2019, again, the first 6 months of my blog, my only source of passive income was digital goods, selling handouts. So I made $59 in the first 6 months. It's not a lot, right? That's nothing. It's like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. But when it comes to blogging, blogging is a long-term game. It often takes Google, which is the main search engine. It's how people find you, anywhere from 6 to 9 months to even start like showing you on the first page of Google. So blogging is a long-term game. It takes time, but it's totally worth it if you put in the time and effort. So first 6 months, I made $60. It's not too bad. I mean, it was passive. I made the handouts, one and done, continued to make money. Moving into 2020, that was the next 12 months with passive income. I went from $59 in digital goods to $401. And that was because more people were coming to my website. And then through my ebooks, I made $2,215. So about $2,600 I made in 2020. So now moving into 2021, as I have more streams of income, and we're just looking at the first 6 months, my digital goods, I'm really close to what I made in 2020, so 365. My ebooks, I've made about 1,600 through ads. That's my big money maker now, almost 13,000 affiliates. Not too much, but it's something, $71, and then courses, 582. So this year, 6 months in through passive income, I've made $15,493. And I just want to show you guys how big that jump is. It's like almost exponential, right? This year is not even done yet. And I shared this little table with you guys yesterday, the 2021 6 months in, and I talked to you guys about the amount of time it would have taken me to make this money. So this money I'm talking about is completely passive income. I'm not trading time for money. If I were doing active income, if I were actually like doing work at the average dietitian salary of around $32, I would have had to have been working for 20 hours every week for the past 6 months to make the same amount of money. So that's why I love blogging. So I also want to talk to you guys about, wait a minute. I want to talk to you guys about where people are finding me, because I think this is important. You know, it's one thing to see the money, but then to figure out like, okay, how are people actually finding you? And they're finding me primarily through Google. So again, my blog is 2 months old. I'm getting about 110,000 people coming to the website every month. On social media, I have about a little over 3,000 on Instagram, just under 2,000 on Facebook, and then Pinterest. It seems like a lot of views, but that just means people who saw my posts. So, and then my email marketing is just over 1,000 people. And this graph that I have here is showing how much traffic I had to my website. I mentioned it takes about 6 to 9 months for your website to even take off. So I didn't see much. And then around month 9, it started growing. This funky thing was Christmas. I learned that not a lot of people are like, it makes sense. they're not on the website around the holidays. And then after that, it jumped right back up. So I almost wonder, had I not had this drop, if it would have just been gradual. We'll see what happens this Christmas. So that is how people are finding me. And then other ways through my side hustle that I do make money. In addition to the geriatric dietitian, I have this brand, Dietitian Side Hustle, where I do make income through, I have one webinar, so a live webinar and on demand that I have done through Dietitian Central. I make money through affiliate income, where I recommend other people's amazing products and services to help you all as you are pursuing your side hustles. I also have done a little bit of work with brands. I have a course, I do individual coaching, and then my group program, which is the Blogging Accelerator program, which I'll mention tomorrow. So I do have an income report on my website for anyone who is interested. I do this every year. Well, I say every year. I do this for the last 2 years, but I will do this every year. So the 2021 one will go on the website. But this just shows a picture of looking at both my passive and my active income last year. I was able to make about $33,000 through my blogging side hustle business. And I'm not going to go over this in detail because I'm just looking at the time. But the thing that I've loved about my own side hustle through blogging is that I can choose what I want to do. I could say no if I want to, like, oh, I don't really want to do that thing. Nope, I'm not going to do it. It's all on my own time, all on my own schedule, and I'm building my own brand. So just a little bit of reference. So I made $33,000 last year. Already 6 months into this year, I have made over that amount. And my goal for this year is to hopefully hit $100,000. So I did want to show you guys this just to show you guys the power of SEO, search engine optimization. When my blog was 6 months old in January, I had 713 people come to the website, and I thought I was a baller. I'm like, that is amazing. 700 people I don't even know. 1 year from that, I had 105,000 people coming to the website. So I just wanted to mention again, why I love blogging, because it pulls in the someone to sell it to. Because to make money, we have to have something to sell and someone to sell it to. And for me, blogging has been so amazing with actually having the someone to sell it to part. So coming back to multiple streams of income, I hope that it was helpful for you guys to see an example of what this looks like and how it's looked like in my brand. But if you were looking at that list of side hustles and you're like, oh man, I kind of want to do multiple things, it's all about coming up with a logical plan for how side hustles can work together and recognizing you're not going to do them all at once. You know, maybe you're going to start with this one, and as it builds up, you're going to do this one, right? So developing multiple streams of income is so important and so amazing, especially if you're able to build up passive streams of income. And again, I love blogging because you are the CEO of your own brand. Through SEO, people can find you. It gives you authority, opportunities for sales, and you can incorporate both active and passive income. So I am going to pull back up on the slide and look at my comments again. I see Louise, you're on again. Yay, welcome. So glad to have you on. So coming back to this list of side hustle ideas. So I hope that as I talked about these earlier, and as I kind of shared some of the stuff that I do, I hope that something here stood out to you. So I want you to take a look at this and consider, what is it that I want to do? This challenge is all about starting your side hustle. So I hope that something on that list stands out to you. Now, it could be multiple things, but I want you to just make a mental note because this is going to be your assignment. So your assignment for day 2 is to comment below, what side hustle do you want to pursue? And it can be multiple side hustles. So comment below, and then we'll see you tomorrow when we talk about going all in and, going all in, getting started. I'll share some resources with you guys, but I'm just going to pull this up for one more minute so you guys can see it. So comment below, what side hustle or hustles do you want to pursue? And remember, by commenting below, and if you comment every day on day 1, day 2, and day 3, you will stay eligible for our, it's like a contest, I guess. So you'll have a chance to win. It might be on the 9 to 5 coaching course. We'll do a drawing at the end with everyone who finishes the challenge. And even cooler than that, when you finish the challenge, you'll actually have a side hustle and a plan to get started. And that's really the goal of this, is to get you guys started with your side hustle. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.